While the mainstream media often avoids covering Donald Trump's cognitive decline, he's making it impossible to ignore by broadcasting his own idiocy nonstop. And though they usually try to tiptoe around it, sometimes they stumble right into the truth, exactly what happened with Fox News, which accidentally aired one of the clearest examples of Trump's decline yet. He's panicking about it now, losing his mind. But before we roll that clip, if you could leave a like on this video and hit subscribe if you haven't already, it really helps support the work we're doing here. Now, let's set the stage. Because this all started with Trump picking a fight with Governor Wes Moore, who clapped back on CNN with this moment right here.
Well, the president seems to be obsessed with me. Today he called me a beauty, and when I first met him, he just talked about how I was a good-looking guy. And now he just continues to make statements that are just flat-out false about our state's largest city. The reality is that when I first became the governor, Baltimore in 2022 had about a homicide a day. Now, in the past 2.5 years, Baltimore and the state of Maryland have had amongst the fastest drops in violent crime anywhere in the United States. The last time the homicide rate was this low in Baltimore City, I was not born yet. And we have done it by making historic investments in law enforcement, by making historic investments in predictive technologies, and we've done it by actually working with the mayor, working with the state's attorney, working with community violence intervention groups, and working with the community to be able to ensure that people can feel safer in their neighborhoods. And the thing is that we know we have more work to do, but we're not going to be performative or cynical about the way we are doing it, and not taking the approach that the President of the United States seems to be taking about making people safe in communities.
Donald Trump is once again obsessed with a Democratic governor, this time Wes Moore, who's hitting back hard, exposing Trump's hypocrisy and showing real leadership. Now, Trump attacking a Democrat isn't new. He's gone after Governor Whitmer, Governor Walz, Governor Pritzker, you name it. So of course, he's targeting Wes Moore. But in classic Trump fashion, he's taken it way too far, spinning an absolutely bizarre story about Moore that immediately backfired. Moore didn't waste a second hitting back, and the fallout even led to Fox News accidentally showcasing Trump's cognitive decline in real time.
He's trying to be derogatory, and I met him at the Army-Navy game. They said, "Oh, there's Governor Moore, he'd love to see you." He came over to me, he hugged me, shook my hand. You were there. He said, "Sir, you're the greatest president of my lifetime." I said, "It's really nice that you say that. I'd love you to say it publicly, but I don't think you can do that, so it's okay. But no, sir, you're doing a fantastic job. I want to just shake your hand. Thank you very much, Governor." That was it. And then every time I see him on television, he's knocking the hell out of me. So, but that's all right. That's called politics.
And the thing that gets me most about this is how deeply disrespectful this is to members of the National Guard who signed up for this job, as I did when I deployed overseas and I led paratroopers in combat, where we signed up with the expectation that the commander-in-chief and the people who was declaring our orders was actually taking it seriously. And the problem is we are seeing a lack of seriousness from the President of the United States to a very serious situation. And that's why I invited him to come to Baltimore, to come be educated, to come learn, so he doesn't have to spout nonsense from the Oval Office and things that are just blatantly not true about what is actually happening and the work that's happening in coordination to make people feel safer in their neighborhoods.
This is exactly how Democrats should respond anytime the media, left, right, or center, tries the soft on crime nonsense. Don't hedge, don't qualify, just call it what it is, a joke. And Donald Trump, he's a joke too. Right now, he's obsessed with Wes Moore, attacking him simply because Moore refuses to bow down. But Trump pushed it too far, claiming Moore once called him the greatest president of his lifetime at an Army-Navy game. Total lie. And here's the kicker. Fox's Will Cain actually played the clip, and instead of helping Trump, it exposed exactly where his brain is at these days. And it isn't good.
Of he said, she said brewing between President Trump and Maryland Democrat Governor Wes Moore.
I met him at the Army-Navy game. They said, "Oh, there's Governor Moore, he'd love to see you." He came over to me, he hugged me, shook my hand. You were there. He said, sir, you're the greatest president of my lifetime. I said, but it's really nice that you say that. I'd love you to say it publicly, but I don't think you can do that, so it's okay. And then every time I see him on television, he's knocking the hell out of me, but that's all right. That's called politics.
Knocking the hell out of him. Wes Moore is posting on social media saying that President Trump can't walk, but maybe he should walk the streets of Baltimore. It didn't take him long to respond to the president there in the Oval Office. He said, LOL, keep telling yourself that, Mr. President. It'd be wild, though, if only we had the footage that President Trump had referenced about them meeting at the Army-Navy game. And thanks to the Art of the Surge on Fox Nation, we have the footage.
Mr. President. Welcome back to Maryland, sir. Welcome back to Maryland. It's good to see you.
In person, too.
Thank you, sir. Great to see you. Great to see you. And great to have you back here. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we are very, very anxious to be able to work closely with you. And I know the Key Bridge is something that we're specifically focused on. It's going well. I mean, we spoke with Speaker Johnson yesterday, and Speaker Johnson says he believes that we're close to the 100% cost share. And the thing is, I told him when we get that 100% cost share done, we are going to be able to go over the Key Bridge under your watch, because I will have it done in 28. On time and on budget.
We'll help you out.
Thank you, sir.
We didn't hear their greatest president ever, but we did hear a lot of enthusiasm and so excited to meet you, Mr. President. Who's telling the truth? We'll let you decide.
That clip was from just a few months ago. But now, in Donald Trump's head, Wes Moore supposedly called him the greatest president in the world. Total fantasy. Even Fox's Will Cain admitted Moore never said that. Trump just made it up. Cain actually played the clip, admitted Trump was wrong, and then still tried to muddy it with, well, who's to know? Will, we do know. You literally just showed it. Trump completely misremembered, twisted the moment, and turned it into something it wasn't. That's not strategy. That's cognitive decline on full display. And because Fox accidentally exposed it, Trump's lashing out again, this time calling Wes Moore not presidential material. Moore's not even running for president. He's focused on Maryland. But Trump is obsessed, furious, and once again projecting. Why? Because deep down, he's desperate to rewrite the rules, steal the midterms, and set up an illegal third term in 2028. But Wes Moore isn't backing down. He just went on CNN and called Trump's nonsense out for what it is.
Did you interact with him at any other point in that conversation? Did you ever tell him he was the greatest president in your lifetime?
I know this is breaking news to everybody, but the president is not telling the truth. What happened right there was when I first met the president, and then after he started talking about how I'm a good-looking guy, I started talking about the importance of the Key Bridge and how this state put on a case study on how to recover in times of crisis, that we were able to bring closure to all 6 families, to the individuals who were lost that night on the Key Bridge. And when they told us it was going to take 11 months to clear the federal channel, that this state got it done in 11 weeks. And we started talking about how it was going to get done. And then he later on invited me to come sit with him at the game. And I told him, I said, I'm good. I have my own seats. And I went to go sit with the cadets and the midshipmen. So, no, I never called him the greatest. And I just find it absolutely comical that that was the way he remembered that conversation.
Governor Wes Moore, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you so much.
It's obvious Donald Trump is in cognitive decline. Did he outright lie about that interaction, or did he just forget? Did he misremember, or is his brain simply playing tricks on him? Either way, Trump is so far gone mentally that he can't even keep track of basic events anymore. And every single day, we get another reminder of just how unfit he is for this job. Another absurd, extreme action. Another tantrum that proves he's working against the best interests of Americans. And with each one, he sinks deeper into historic unpopularity. That's why right now, Trump is trying to steal the midterms. Think about it. If Republicans were really as popular as Trump, Mike Johnson, or Lindsey Graham scream that they are, why would they need to rig the game? The answer is simple. They're not popular. And this entire scheme proves it. Nicole Wallace laid it out perfectly right here.
Off a pressure campaign against Texas Republicans who complied and redrew their maps. Today, Donald Trump hosted Republican lawmakers from Indiana. Indiana appears to be the next target in the Trump administration's very transparent but shameless power grab to shield Republicans from being accountable to the will of voters in the 2026 midterm elections. But there's some new polling from Indiana that has a bit of a warning light for state Republicans there. Politico reports this, quote, 52% of registered voters in Indiana, which Trump won by 19 points last year, said they are against Republicans revising their maps, with 43%, quote, strongly opposing that effort. Nearly two-thirds of the survey respondents said gerrymandering should be illegal, and a full two-thirds expressed opposition to Washington politicians meddling in their state's politics. Voters' discomfort with gerrymandering not lost on at least a few Indiana Republicans. New York Times reports at least 10 state legislators have chosen defiance, even as pressure from the White House has ramped up. Those lawmakers, a small fraction of the roughly 110 state legislative Republicans from Indiana, have expressed opposition to rare mid-decade redistricting in social media posts, interviews, and formal statements. Quote, if we do that now, the rule book gets tossed out the window. That was State Representative Jim Lucas, a Republican from southern Indiana. Besides, he said, Republicans already hold 7 of Indiana's 9 congressional seats. We have a saying, the pigs get fat, the hogs get slaughtered. Mr. Lucas said, we should be happy with what we have. I was just trying to figure out who the slaughtered hogs are. Joining our conversation is New York Times political reporter Nick Corsinati. Jim is here. Nick, where's this going in Indiana?
I think Indiana is the first state that we're going to see some real resistance to this whole effort by the president to force Republican states to redistrict in mid-decade. And there's a couple reasons for that. One is the ask coming from the White House is pretty extreme, even by what we've seen already. When Vice President Vance went to meet with leadership like the governor and the state legislative leaders in Indiana, they asked for a 9-0 map, meaning wipe all Democrats off the congressional delegation. And that's a far reach for a state that has, 39 or 40% Democratic voters in the last presidential election. So I think that instantly puts some resistance in state leadership. Then there's just the dynamic of Indiana Republicans aren't necessarily as big on culture warrior, immediately MAGA politics. There's a lot of business-oriented Indiana Republicans who just don't like this stuff. Businesses have come out and said we don't like the political instability created by things like mid-decade redistricting. So they're going to be against it. And then, there's the wrinkle of this is the former vice president's home state, Mike Pence, and there's people who are still loyal to him and don't necessarily appreciate some of the things that the current president has said or done to the former vice president. So there's a lot of political wrinkles at play here that are leading to some, pretty entrenched opposition. It's certainly not a DOA deal there, nor is it a guaranteed, likelihood that these legislators who are resisting are going to come around. We're going to see a real fight in Indiana.
This is a political party in total disarray, grasping at anything just to stay afloat. Donald Trump is historically unpopular, and he'll stay that way as long as we keep calling him out. If you want to support that work, hit subscribe, leave a like, and if you made it to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Until next time, I will see you soon.